Right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. What's happening? I'm sure everybody is just absolutely buzzing from last week. It's hard to explain to normal people what this feels like. Just absolutely amazing. It was amazing seeing all you guys. I mean, it just gets better and better. I have to pinch myself every morning, and hopefully you guys feel the same way. So, just coming off a really great week here, and hopefully you guys had an amazing time. We'll get into that in a little bit. Um, why don't we do this? Why don't we share some wins from the event? Maybe what you liked best, the best part of it, or just in general, real quick, because we probably have a few. Who wants to share a win from the event? Matt?
So, Brian, I think the win for me was overall the vulnerability and support of this group. I thought it was just absolutely amazing, and for people to get up there and just that are new members and just pour their hearts out, and then for the group to pour their hearts back to them, I thought was absolutely incredible. On a personal note, Josiah had done a meditation, and I had some things pop up in regards to my dad, and it keeps circling around. And I came to a awareness the other day that I have not forgiven my dad for some things in the past. And I looked at that of really changing my perception around that. In the events that happened, as horrific as they were, there was meaning there, and some things that happened, I look at it now that even though they were horrific, in the long run, it was there to protect me. So I'm changing my past to be able to move forward in the present and my future.
I love it, brother. You know what's really cool is the way Josiah does the meditations. You know, when we brought that element into this, you know, we have everybody from extreme left brain to extreme right, somewhere in the middle, right? So my boy Kyle was like, that was amazing. Like I was blown away when Kyle was like, that was absolutely amazing. And it just warmed my heart because I was on that same journey from left to right. And yeah, I think Josiah did a great job with the meditations for sure. You, and what about you?
Oh, same thing I was going to say. It was just amazing just to be with everybody and watch like the actual elevation of everyone's growth, right? Just even, you could even see the growth from when we first started to like the last day of everyone just elevating, experiencing new things, having new thoughts that's serving them. So just to watch that, and then most importantly, like feeling it all, like feeling everyone's love, like it was absolutely
It was a big love fest. I know.
Yeah, it was incredible.
It's super funny when I think of some of the people, you know, me, Matt, Kyle, Dalton, like people that are extreme left brain, and we're like, you know, tears are coming down. It's like, where the fuck are these things?
It's called release and elevate. Rise up.
It really was.
I love it.
Valerie had a good point. They're going to put matrix napkins and tissues in the bags next time. So, and I want to say one more time to the team. I mean, Laura for putting the whole thing together. The venue is off the chain. You know, Valerie with the swag bags and you know, working with you guys at Kendra and you know, Angie and Carrie, like our whole team was just next level. Antonio's. Hopefully you guys get to meet some of them more one-on-one and connect with them, because this team is what makes this whole thing go around. So big shout out to you guys.
Yes, I agree. Echo that. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. So much gratitude.
Val, what about you?
Okay. I would definitely have to say my biggest takeaway was, well, first of all, your heartfelt stories. Yeah, I think I got a couple more crow's feet in from crying. But also my husband, it really hit home to him. And I am so looking forward to watching him elevate and push his business to the next level.
So this, Chris Patterson and I were just talking about this, and some of you had mentioned this. And so Matt, I think you're on here and team, you know, we want to have the ability next time for you guys to invite like one couple or one friend, like one person. We can't have you invite 50 people, but if you have that one person or a spouse or something, or somebody that's just not understanding, I would like to have you guys be able to invite, because what better way to show somebody about the elite and to have them experience that? It's the pinnacle of what we do, right? So we're going to work on that for next time. Chris, what about you, bud?
Well, immediately, it's amazing to know who the hell all these boxes are. Right? So being new, just showing up, it's already miles away from where it was 2 weeks ago, knowing you guys all so well at this point. I do want to actually give a lot of credit to the group and what you've built here, because the amount of stuff that is kept up, people, conversations, recommendations, all the follow-up that's happened after the event is tremendous. It's really, a lot of times you go to these mountaintop events, it's really great, awesome, you're full of energy, and then you go back into the valley and everything goes back where it is. This is clearly something where when we get together, we are changed forever. And that is incredible. And more importantly, I am so excited to see you guys again in 6 months and see what has happened in the middle. So I hope you guys are paying attention to, like, what, you know, what was it that we were looking for, and can we bring that back to each other when we return? So that's just something that's tremendously exciting, and I'm really looking forward to being able to share with all of you guys and bring back to you as well.
I love that. Yeah, and again, appreciate you being vulnerable. And yeah, for those, some people have been here a year, 2 years or more, and yeah, when you 6 months go by and you see each other again, some people are just like, I mean, they're just in a whole different plane, and they were already doing well. Everybody here is doing well. It's just there's no end to how well we can do. So it's pretty unique for sure. And the one thing I would say too, I'm a part of a lot of masterminds. We had 100% attendance, with the only exception of Mr. Ivan Ans was getting some dental surgery, so that's not his fault. Most masterminds, the physical attendance is like, 30%, 40% of their membership. So it says a lot that everybody flew, and it wasn't cheap, right? And attended. And I think that's because you were at the last one and the last one. And if people can make it, they do it. So it says a lot.
Hey, Brian.
What's you, bud?
Brian, it's Ara.
Hey, what's up? Jump right in.
Hi. Yeah, sorry, I'm driving, but listen, Evan's excuse was unacceptable. I think he should have been here. Anyway,
I agree, Era. I agree with you.
That's it, Evan. We missed you. That's the problem.
That's totally right.
I second Chris's motion, and I agree with 100%. One thing that really even stuck out most to me is this time is that we actually helped. Not only helped, we all. It really was the word mastermind was really there. Ideas flowing left and right, nonstop. I mean, how many ideas do we come up for the cookies, for example, or this or that? And just, and none of us can do that by ourselves. Well, most of us cannot do that by ourselves. But it was incredible, and the camaraderie.
None of us can do what we're looking to do by ourselves. I would, myself included. The goals we have, none of us can do it by ourselves. That's not a weak statement. It just is. I mean, look at Dave Steck said the same thing, right? Elon Musk can't do what he does by himself. There's no way, shape, or form. So that's not a weak thing to admit. It's the power of a mastermind. So I would absolutely agree. And so the other thing too, a lot of masterminds that meet once a quarter. So you get 1,000 ideas, and then it's a quarter away before you connect with us. I'm like, I'm going to see you Tuesday, bro. Like, you can't hide. We're going to see each other every single week. And I think that's part of the stickiness and part of why we actually implement the things, because you guys probably get 1,000 ideas, and we're going to get the replays out and the recording. So for those of you that are hot seats, you're going to get that stuff. My win for the week was the group hug we did with Kyle. Freaked him the F out. It was awesome. He's like, what's happening? Doug, what about you, brother?
I just enjoyed it. I mean, same thing with what Chris was saying. I mean, it's just like, I've been in a lot of different masterminds, a lot of different business groups and stuff, and there's just never been one that everybody just is. It's just everyone here is so wealthy in a sense that they are, including me. I mean, you feel like you have everything, and everybody just wants to help everybody else. And so it was just really awesome to be a part of that. And I had a blast. And next one, we're gonna have to get Sage to be watched, or bring my mom or something, so that she can be part of it, because I'm thinking I'm gonna make her go through your program, Chris, with me, and because she just needs a lot of what I've experienced. Outside of that, man, I potentially found a CFO already. I just coming out of the event. I was just like, I need a CFO. I know that's what we're missing. And so, I called up one of my mentors, and he's like, I have someone who works for Heinz that she is went to Notre Dame, whatever, but working out of Denmark or something, but they want to move back here. And then her mom would kind of carried Armstrong Flooring and stuff. She was their CFO, and she's looking for a part-time thing because she's retired, which means that we can get her for like, he's saying like 50, 60 grand because she used to volunteer to help businesses, but she wants out of that and she just wants something part-time. So for our size business, that's wild to get that type of person. And so I have a meeting with them. She's actually, and the crazy thing is, she's like, my mentor was like, it's the perfect time because she is on her way to Lancaster because they want to move here. Wow. And so I'm meeting with her on Friday. The other thing is I just got off of a call. I had a download kind of while we were at the putt shack. So I was talking with Chris, I think, and about his CMO. And the other thing I realized I have been talking with, his name's Steve Robinson. He was the CMO of Chick-fil-A. I've been talking with him back and forth for 3 years, and I have just been afraid to make the ask for him to come officially advise us because I felt like I needed to build a business that was worthy of him coming into. And instead, I just was like, I knew that I just need to ask. So I just got off like a 45-minute call with him. And he said he is very interested. He's gonna, pray about it, and he is going to be. But yeah, he said, "Give me your pitch. I really think I want to join." So
wow. So not too much going on for you then.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's been beautiful. So
That's
mindset
awesome.
has definitely shifted a ton.
You guys heard Dave Steck when he said that. Is like when he shifted the gears towards asking the right people, but arguably you are asking the right person, right? I mean, holy shit. So yeah, you have the power of asking. Sometimes we get so humble and you help everybody. I mean, you'll help anybody do anything, right? But we forget, what about the other side of that? And what about the feelings we're robbing from that person, right? That wants to be asked, So you guys attracted for a reason. So super proud of you, brother. Peggy, what about you?
I think that the entire, oh, I'm sorry. Did you say Lenny?
Peggy, but Lenny, then Peggy. How's that?
That's fine. Sorry, Peggy. I think that the whole meeting was powerful for me because I actually came down with no expectations. And that was awesome because everything was a bright light for me. One of the things that Josiah asked was write down a person who you wanted to meet. And I wrote down Chris Patterson's name, and I'm glad I told him that like literally before his talk, because I would have been looking like, hey, I just want to talk to Chris because of his story. But the fact of the matter is, Chris is a great guy that I want to know even more about. But vulnerability, I think that this was literally family raw. Everybody expressed themselves fully. There were no minced words. I mean, it was all matter of fact. And that's when you know you're surrounded by love. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Elite family. Thank you, Matrix family. Appreciate you all.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, brother. Miss Peggy, what about you?
Hey, Len, way to steal my thought. Just kidding. Well, but truly for me, all of it was so good. There was, what Dalton shared and just the new awareness of ways to think about money, how to preserve wealth, all of that from a technical standpoint was amazing. Love the new ideas, love the new awareness, but then it was that authenticity. And often I think, oh, I'm the only one who's a mess in a dress. Like I'm the only one that has the messy bits and parts. And it was just so comforting to know that we're all messy. And also that your mess is your message. I really felt like I have the ability to share what a show things have been, but then how using this material helps me come out the other side. In fact, I think that's implicit in the work that we do as coaches and consultants. So that was amazing. And the only thing I'll say is there were so many people that I got to spend time with, Len and Beth and, a bunch of people, but I'm looking on the screen, Ian, Yun and Matt and Antonio and Kyle, like, Heaven, I wanted to spend time with her. And so we need an extra day just to be social and play and have fun. That's my vote.
We can absolutely add that. And somebody, it was Dave Van who said that instead of Sunday being just like a whoever's left type of thing, we could actually plan it, but just all fun stuff, interactive, fun, you know, even so energy healing, like he had a pretty good idea. So I think our Sunday might become more of an actual day, but it won't be like sitting in front of a projector or a screen. It'll be the human element, the spiritual element, the energy, the fun, the networking. So I think we're on the same page. And if my team could take a note on that too, I think that'd be good. Chris, what about you, bud?
Hey, everybody. I'll keep it short, but my biggest takeaway was just all of you. Nelson and I went to the first one in Nashville, and it was fantastic. But this one, I just got to know people on a deeper level, and it was like I had the perfect amount of time with 90% of the people that are on this call. The 10% I didn't get to, I'm following up with you on a text because I want to know everybody. But by the way, Dalton, you got a text. You got to respond to me, brother. Let's get together. But it was so full of love, so full of positive energy, so much vulnerability. I literally have not experienced anything like that. I told Nelson on the way back, this is a very, very, very special group, and it's because of the people. So thank you guys for making such an impact on my life. I am floored with the love and relationships, and I can't wait for the future. Well said, brother.
Awesome. We're gonna send out a survey that I want you guys to take very, very seriously. We're gonna go line by line with all the things we did, from 0 to 10, how impactful it was, because we've consistent. This is the third one we've done. Some of you have been there for all three, and they've consistently gotten better and better and better, and more value, and that's what we want. And a couple of people in the group, Kendra and Laura, and maybe even some others, had said, why don't we teach around the wheel of life? Now, unconsciously, I guess I was doing that anyway, because we had it almost all. I looked at the people I asked to speak, and we kind of did that. So I think that's why this one was so impactful, because we touched on everything from, tax strategy and new businesses to spirituality and things like that. So awesome. Love it. Super excited. Who would love to read the Mastermind principles to get us going here? Dan Hoover, let me switch over. Thank you, brother.
Mastermind principles. I release myself to the mastermind because I am strong when I have others to help me. I believe the combined intelligence of the mastermind creates a wisdom far beyond my own. I understand that I will more easily create positive results in my life when I am open to looking at myself, my problems and opportunities from another's point of view. I decide to release my desire totally and trust to the mastermind, and I am open to accepting new possibilities. I forgive. I forgive myself for mistakes I have made. I also forgive others who have hurt me in the past so that I can move into the future with a clean slate. I ask the mastermind to hear what I really want, my goals, my dreams, and my desires, and I hear my mastermind partners supporting me in my fulfillment. I accept. I know, relax, and accept, believing that the working power of the mastermind will respond to my every need. I am grateful for knowing this is so. Dedication and covenant. I now have a covenant in which it is agreed that the mastermind shall supply me with an abundance of all things necessary to live a success-filled and happy life. I dedicate myself to be of maximum service to the world and my fellow human beings, to live in a manner that will set the highest example for others to follow, and to remain an open channel of God's will. I go forth with a spirit of enthusiasm, excitement, and expectancy. Amen.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Amen is right. A couple of housekeeping items. Tentatively, we have the next retreat scheduled for August 9th through the 13th. So it's the week of the 7th. And we're looking at Chicago. That's it's probably 90% done. So if you want to write that down, because I know we want to give you guys as much time as possible. And we will firm that up within the next week or so. But if you want to tentatively write that down, August 9th through the 13th. And I think it's going to be in Chicago. Secondly, some of you may not have had the ability to take advantage. If you want to, my team will put a link in the chat. For those who want to full pay for the elite, credit it for last year, get a tax write-off, get a 20% break. There's a link in the chat, and we're going to cut it off today, but I know the weekend was crazy. Some of you were flying and traveling. If you didn't get to do that and you want to, there's that. And then I think there's half a dozen of us or so that are heading out to Dave Steck's event in June out in California. We can put a link in the chat for that. Or if you go back in the WhatsApp group, and just scroll up, you'll see a couple of times that it was mentioned. He gave us a discounted offer at their cost. And I just want to go check out what they're doing. They spend $100,000 a month in research. So a lot of deal flow for those of you that are investors. I think it'd probably be a good thing to go to. And they're going to do some special stuff for us as the Elite 100 group, because we have, we'll probably have a dozen people or more going. So just scroll up in the chat, or if you're interested, just ping me and I'll get you the link for Dave's thing. All right, so we're going to get into some accountability. I think it's been a little while, and we're probably going to do this a few weeks in a row till we get through everybody. And this is really just going through your goals, right, one by one. A little bit of laser coaching if we hear something we can help you with. And it's funny because we've been doing this for a while now, and I've seen some people's goals go from X to 10X to 100X to 1,000X as they're growing and growing and growing. So I have notes way back from day one, and it's really interesting to see when people become aware how easy it happens and how we move into that space. So I just have a list here, so there's no particular order here. Where is Mr. Ian? Are you still with us? Where are you, brother?
I'm here, Brian.
Cool. Are you in a place where we could, are you able to pop your camera on, or are you traveling?
Yep, it's on. It should be on.
Oh, there you are. Cool.
Yeah.
So what is your goal? And what, if anything, can we do to help? Or what did you do recently to track towards that is a better question.
So, all right, first off, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm stewarding the regeneration of millions of acres of farmland across the US and internationally. That's the primary goal.
Yep.
The ask, we actually talked about that last night, and I just wrote down that book. Thank you, Matt, on asking. We have a number of clients that we've been working with on the utility scale side of solar, because this agrivoltaics is new, and we're looking to promote the regeneration of agriculture through solar being a vehicle. And so I've been asking for these utility scale clients to be clients. We've been donating time, we've been educating their sales forces, and waiting patiently for them to engage with us. That next step is to say, show us some money so that we can fund this.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, since the last time we talked about this, we have successfully siloed each of the companies. This was all call it one thing, one entity doing a whole bunch of little stuff, and it was mostly me. I've got 3 employees now. They are siloed. There's New England Consulting Services that does conservation planning. There's Solar Agricultural Services that does the pre-planning for solar projects. And we are now in Illinois, New Mexico. We're going to California next week, New Jersey, New York. So that's expanded since last we talked. And then Soland is a long-term management company. And I've got a meeting with one of my largest clients in 2 weeks, the CEO, about scaling that company, because we've been pricing it on a one-off basis. And they asked if they could absorb us, because they have 18 projects this year to do.
Well, for the right price.
Well, for the right price. And actually, it wasn't even posturing. This was on Friday, by the way. I came in a little bit late to the meeting because I was having this conversation with the CEO, and it was, you know what? Thank you. It's an honor to be asked.
Mm-hmm.
But here's where I want to go. Here's my vision. And let's have a meeting to see if our visions align. So thank you for all the posturing and all the conversations that we had.
Yeah, you got to know what you have, right? You don't want to give away the farm, no pun intended. So it's good to know where you're going, and it's not even posturing. You're just being real, and
Yes.
And you're not minimizing your own worth. So I absolutely love that. So yeah, I had written down 1 million acres of farmland plus 1,000 families helped, 1,000 farm families helped.
So that's where it's growing is regenerating is all of the above.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Regenerating is it's a living system. So it's supporting thousands of families, not 1,000, thousands. And it's millions of acres, not 1 million, because it's the way it's really, that's the impact of not just agrivoltaic solar stuff, but farming stuff. And we're integrating that into every conversation we have now.
I love it. Sounds like you're well on your way. And Maddie, if you're listening, I want to take a note. So I have notes on this. And we owe this to the elite family. I want to get everybody's goals on a like a PDF or a live document, eventually be on the portal. I think it's good for us to all know each other's goals, just like really quick, and time to time to take them out and put energy towards each other's goals. Imagine the power of this group putting energy towards each other's goals, not just our own. And I think, so I wrote myself a note, but Maddie, I want to get the team together to put something together where the Elite 100 can go somewhere and see all of each other's current goals. So brand new members can come and check it out. They might be able to help people. And the bigger we get, I don't want to lose this community of people helping people and knowing each other's goals. So thank you, Ian, for that. Nelson, do you have a connection or something to help?
I just want to throw something in there based on the topic of conversation. And Ian, I'm going to use some of our conversation the last day. We talked about, be specific with your ask, know what your ask is, right? Don't be afraid to make the ask. But I mean, what happens one day if you accidentally bump elbows with a billionaire and that billionaire asks you what you want, right? Be prepared to have the answer to that question. I think was a huge lesson from Ian and I's conversation. It can't happen.
It did happen. It did happen. Dave Steck, man, he says, "What do you want?" And I honestly hadn't thought he'd ask that, and I was not prepared. So he gave me the opportunity to say, "I'm going to Thailand in 3 weeks. I want you to prepare an executive summary and ask me what your ask is." I might not be interested, but refine it. So that was the literally rubbing elbows, as Nelson said, and this is the conversation that Nelson and I had, was ask. What is the ask specifically for this? This
is a really good point for all of you that are scaling. You bump into somebody on a plane that happens to, be your ideal connection, maybe not your ideal client. They say, "What are you doing? What are you looking for?" So write those two things down. What do you do? And what are you looking for? What do you do and what are you looking for? And you should be able to answer them really quick, like pretty quick. It should be top of mind. And we should be expecting to run into these people is the other thing. Not a crazy coincidence. We're in a high level of attraction, right? But open channel of God's will. If you're not prepared, then you're really not an open channel of God's will. And that's not an insult. It's an awareness thing. Like you should be, we should all be expecting to hit our goals, and we should be expecting to meet the people, be in the places, the circumstances, the things to manifest our goal into form. So Ian, thanks for this. And Nelson, thanks, because you guys want to be that quick with it. What do you do and what do you need? Now, some of you may not need anything. You might just be on the path, but what do you do and what do you need? Really good questions. And then Dave called you out, right? He's like, well, let's get clear on it because my time is valuable, right? So good deal. Love it. Val?
I actually do have a spreadsheet going of everyone's goals, but if everybody, I'm going to put in the chat, and Peggy, I know I just saw that you wanted to put what your skills are as well. If you guys could just email those to me, I would love to have them in your own words, because I listened to the recordings after and try to jot them all down real quickly and get them into a spreadsheet. So if you could just email me them, I will get a spreadsheet going for everyone.
So you want them to email their goal?
Yeah. That's what we were doing. I was saying.
I just want to be really clear because I'd love to have you guys all do this today. I have some notes, but if you could, right after the call, just take a quick minute to email Valerie your goal. Is there anything else you want them to?
Peggy mentioned she wanted to share her skills in terms of helping others. So if there's something that you want to share with others as well, I can put that in there.
Well, why don't we do this? Let's start with goals, because once we launch the portal, you guys are all going to get interviewed and all of your stuff is going to be on the portal. Skills, what you're looking for, what you need, promo videos, like we're building that out. But for now, let's get the goals all on one document, like a Word document or PDF or something that we can have. So we all know how we can help each other. But I think that's great.
Yeah, I know you had mentioned maybe laminating it and sending it out so everyone had everybody's goals in front of them. But I know everybody's goals tend to change.
Well, those would be cool to keep over time too. Maybe we could do that at each elite event.
Okay.
Imagine having a laminate from 10 years ago.
Right? Yeah, that'd be cool to see.
So that might be cool. Awesome. Mr. Ivan, where are you at? There you are. What is your current goal?
You asked me, Brian?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Basically, I am kind of shifting from the entrepreneurial goals that were already created and are in the companies, which are 9 companies in 3 continents and so on, more shifting and aligning towards the family office world even more and more and more. So my goals are a friendly, ethical, truthful, and leading family office on planet Earth. I want to basically show the other family office world that the family office world is not just money, that it has a lot of other areas. And then the other goal is basically the family office and its members deliver an extraordinary value to society. And because of the experience that they have in the family office, the family, first of all, we have an environment which encourages and achieves the best version of all members of the group, which is very important for me. That is a space that everybody involved feels that they can be the best versions of themselves, because that's a responsibility for leaders. When you have someone in a group that is not being their best version, it's not because of them, it's because of you. And then, lastly, but
just pause you for
less important.
Let me just pause you for a second. A lot of what you're telling me should be in your life script. Let me explain the difference, right? So my goal is, I'm so happy and grateful that I have a net worth in excess of $21 billion in net worth and assets by age 60. That's the goal. My life script says everything you're saying. And there's two different reasons for having 2 different things, right? Now, if I say, what's your name? What would you say?
Ivan.
That's what your goal should sound like. So your subconscious mind knows exactly, right? So it might be, so happy and grateful now that we've helped over 1,000 family offices worldwide deliver wealth to humanity. Done. Something
I see.
right?
You mean like yeah, I see how I look at the
Putting
goals.
an address in, like an address in a GPS. It's for your subconscious mind.
I see. I see more that as a target for the plans, and the goals being more of something that is constantly you are working to. But yeah, I see your real point on that.
You
So
and let's chat on Friday about that. We'll boil it down into something. And whether you call it a target or a C-type goal is semantics, but there's definitely a different reason. It wants to be just clear and concise for your subconscious mind. Even though you're thinking about you're talking more about the results of the goal, helping humanity, helping offices, helping here. These are the results of the goal achieved.
Yes.
So we can work on that together, brother. We'll leave that one. And obviously you're doing well. So this is just more like semantics, and I want you to be able to carry it on a goal card. So it needs to be just one little paragraph.
Yeah, and something that I have like at the end goal, of course, like the targets of the billions and so on, and growing the network is always there. But that the family members feel so well, and the members of the family office feel so well during the time that they enjoy with us, that they choose to come back to the family in their next lifetime. So that's part of the goals also.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Dalton, you're new, so you may not, or maybe you have what we call a C-type goal. I think you've been enough into it, and you've done enough of this in the past, but do you have like your overarching like C-type goal?
Yeah, I have a couple, a bunch of different goals in all different like areas of life written down. One of them, more specific, and more time sensitive in terms of now is I know I mentioned it to a few just in conversation, but Bobby Hoteling, the founder of our company, and 2 other gentlemen just launched a real estate fund where we're raising $50 million to acquire, about $120 to $150 million of multifamily and commercial real estate. So that's definitely, one of the focuses that I've been putting a lot of time towards, and raising money and kind of getting that whole thing set up. And I'm not really, Bobby are not really more on the day-to-day side. We have a gentleman who runs his own firm that we're partnering with, who has about 30 employees, so it'll be pretty passive for me, but just in terms of setting everything up and raising money and stuff like that, it's that's definitely a goal that I'm focusing on, is to get that 50 million done, and wrapped up and
So
raise probably.
we would consider that more of a task, not that it shouldn't be done. And here's the difference. You know exactly how to do that. It's already in
Right.
you know what to do. You guys are developing, you know how to raise money. And a C-type goal is different. This is like, so this would be a piece of your C-type goal. So a C-type goal might be something like, I'm so happy and grateful that I passed $10 million a month in 2023 from multiple revenue streams. Like something you have no idea, or like, part of it, but not all
So
of
I'd
it.
say, yeah, then that would be, I'm so grateful that I've surpassed $10 million this year, in 2023.
Okay.
Total with, so $1 million a month, let's say, or, something like that. That would be a, more of a C-type goal, where I have an idea on how to get there, but obviously there's a lot of things that would, that have to fall into place and have to be attracted.
Well, that's exactly it. Now you hit it right on the head, right? When we stretch to $1 million a month, you're going to have to grow, do more, 8 people. That's the whole point of a C-type goal. And again, you're like weeks into this, so I didn't expect you to really have an answer, but I do want to separate the difference between a task, because that fund, you know how to do it. And if it's
it definitely makes sense.
if you want to bring it to the elite, you and I can chat about it, and we do satellite investment opportunities on like Thursday. So I think
cool.
We're connecting this week anyway, but
Perfect.
So if it's $1 million a month this year on a goal card, that's what it'd say. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm earning in excess of $1 million a month net. That's probably what you want.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, a good, a good C-type goal. Yeah, from that perspective, for sure.
Cool. Love it. Love it. Kevin, what about you, brother? Mr. Lee.
Yeah, so I guess I had 2 before. One of them.
Check one off. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you enlighten the family here, brother?
Yeah. So anyway, I guess you guys saw Shay last weekend or last week. She was there. She really liked it, and she liked the friendship, the connections she's made with every one of you. Compared to the 2 masterminds she was with me before this one, she just felt the energy is totally different, and she really liked this mastermind, all the people that make up the mastermind, and she was really grateful to be there, and I'm very lucky to have her too. So I guess I've told you guys about that's one of my goals, is to find my soulmate. And I guess, yeah. So we're still talking, and she's still enjoying me. She's gonna come to Sacramento like in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
And, we're just gonna hang out here for 10 days before we head down to LA and meet my mom and stuff.
Oh,
so, yeah. So
nice.
that's going well.
I like weddings.
What is that?
I like weddings.
I know. You'll be invited, but that's anyway, I guess the other goal is related to my income. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning in excess of $5 million a month from multiple revenue sources in a calm, confident, heavenly manner with grace and ease.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it, love it. And I think you're rapidly moving towards that as well. Any sticky points, anything you need help with? So these are not full-blown hot seats, but if there's something quick, this is like accountability and laser coaching. I do want to back up and do two more things. Every single one of you at any point can raise your hand for a hot seat, and we'll schedule it in. Some of you new members like Dalton and Chris Pepin and Michael Shine, and actually Chris Patterson, you've never had one either.
Nelson and I were talking. I would love if we could focus on just one area of one of my companies.
Sure.
Which is manufacturing chats, which Nelson is heavily involved in. We're trying to scale that from, I don't know, I think we got around 100 clients, but we need to get to 1,000.
Do you want to schedule a hot seat? Because you've never had one.
Yes, I would love to.
We will do that.
Nelson and I will probably chime in. I'll try not to talk over you, Nelson, but no promises.
Is there anybody else that wants like a full-blown hot seat while I'm on the subject? All good? Doug, you guys also get one too. What you did at the event was not, it was a hot seat, but if you would,
Okay.
if you like one down the road, like at any point, you guys, anybody can have it. I just, from time to time, I ask everybody.
I'm learning to accept things, gifts and compliments and stuff. So whenever you want to put me in the hot seat, I will accept it.
Okay. It'll probably be like 8 weeks from now, because we'll do Chris, then we'll do you. So you'll have plenty of time. You'll have met some people. You'll have digested the information we gave you from the event. So
Yeah, that was I thought that was a hot seat. It felt hot when I was up there.
that is a hot seat, but it's about half as long as we do. We do a full like 45 minutes here, and I think it's a little bit more focused than maybe at the event. So good deal. Let's see. Oh, Kevin, is there any quick things that you need help with, or you rolling right along?
Nothing in particular. I guess I need more clarity because, like everyone else said, like goals change over time. So I need to come up with another goal, I guess, personal goal. I want to.
You did 5 million a month last time. Is that still the goal?
Yeah.
Okay. We can definitely help with that.
Okay.
Dalton, can you put your name, email, and phone number in the chat, because like 15 people want it.
Yep, I will do that right now.
So Dalton and I are working together, and again, I don't usually strongly endorse too much. This to me is like the holy grail of safe investments. It's about as safe as you can get because it's insurance backed, but it's a high performing safe investments, and I'm not getting any kickbacks. Matter of fact, that's illegal in the insurance world. I'm just doing it myself, and I feel really confident. Having that piece of being your own bank and infinite banking is something I've been looking for like 3 years. And like I said, I've interviewed about a dozen people, and it just wasn't the right energy and fit. So if you guys are looking for a safer bucket that has a lot of flexibility plus insurance, make sure you get with Dalton there. So, Kyle, my main man, we have never accurately gotten a goal from you. I know we asked a couple times, but it's like, you and I are working on one. If I could share it, I could share with you.
Yeah, you go ahead.
So by May, we want to get to $1 million a month net with Kyle. And we're working towards it. Him and I meet every couple of weeks here. $1 million a month net, so he can drop the main pain in the ass thing. So I know he was, he had his hot seat at the event, but does anybody have anything that comes up top of mind about releasing your main thing? Because I know that's a massive struggle. He identifies with this for the last like 20 years or whatever, or 15 years. You have something?
Add more energy towards where you want to go and not worry about releasing it at all, right? The more that we think about getting rid of it, the more that it's actually going to come up into our focus and just keep coming. So if I can just give my suggestion, just literally focus on the lifestyle that you want to have. Kyle, everything that you want is literally at your fingertips. With everything that you've done, it's just your ability to see it in that order. You have so much value to give, and that money, you're going to blow it out of the park. So I would literally just focus on what is it? What type of lifestyle do you want to live? Who do you want to become? What does that look like, feel like? And don't even worry about the day-to-day thing. And the more that you focus here and like showing up to these things and really setting time and intention for your own desires, everything will fall into place. So don't look at what you're getting rid of. Look ahead. Creation.
Mm-hmm. And we know, so you got, February, March, April, May. By May, we need to replace you. So make sure, like, what are you doing today towards cultivating the people that are going to replace you? That should be your daily question. Like, what am I going to do today towards replacing myself? If you ask that every day for the next 4 months, I can't imagine that you won't, replace yourself. That's the key thing, because we're going to hit the million. That's not a question. It's you got to keep up your end of the deal though and replace yourself. So I'm going to try and hold you to it. Now all these people know about it too. So by the end of May, we could have you replaced and buy back that 15 hours a day. Matt?
Yeah, Kyle, I would love to see you in the space that you automate so many things and like we're talking about, get that course out there and just blast it out, make things evergreen so that way you can really pull back. I think part of it is going back to TIR and like we all said before, is really get, whatever your happy place is, go there in a calm, confident manner, very relaxed, and think about, what is it that you really want to do? And then also looking at number lesson 7, as far as the terror barrier is concerned. Real estate, Cal Saboth, like real estate comes to my mind, like that's you, but that's not you. And you can strip that, change that image that I got so much love and respect for you that, and again, like it was just a pleasure to meet you in person and have you show up here. You're absolutely incredible, and don't be afraid to release everything as far as real estate is concerned, unless that's what you really want to do. And if that's what you really want to do, just find systems in place. You know that there's not many people on this planet that can do what you do and how you did it. So if you're looking to train people to do that, understand it's going to get watered down, and don't be frustrated with it. Again, systematize it, and just focus on creating. You have the ability to create anything that you want to.
Yeah, you could write a book called How to Get to 1,000 Doors, right? You could flip the energy in selling and turn it like all into investing, which is a lot more fun, probably less stressful, right? So you can still do
Definitely.
How I get
I mean, no one's really ever done it. No one's done 500 transaction size that many years. I mean, never mind 1 year, but 4 years, 3 years in a row. So it's definitely, nobody, that's just insanity.
So now it's what's next though, right?
Right,
Like
correct.
people like acquire 1,000 doors a year, 3 years in a row, or something like that.
Correct.
More on the real estate acquisition, keeps you in the game, but probably a hell of a lot less stressful and less time. And you can build a team around acquisitions and things. So it might stay in the industry and just focus on what's next, right? You crushed it there, but like, Gary's crushing it at a different level. Grant's crushing it at a different level. He's not running around selling homes. I don't care if it's 50,000. He's acquiring 1,000 doors at a time, right? So you can still be, intense and strategic and setting records. Let's just move it into something that's a hell of a lot more lucrative and less stressful. Cool.
Kyle, I just sent you Greg Luther is his name. He I think he does like 30 million a year just coaching real estate. But great guy. Just reach out to him. Sage is super excited about it. I don't know if that's a direction you want to go with teaching or not or whatever, but it might be a really good contact for you either way. I don't think he would mind giving you a call, and I can even, if you send me your number back, I can do a text intro too.
I'll send that right now.
Well, that is something that Kyle, he already does some coaching and some.
Yeah, I mean, I did it. We just didn't market it. It was like quiet, right? Because I wanted to make sure I knew kind of what that looked like first. So we ran about 8 sessions. I've got all the curriculum. I've went through hours and hours and hours of prep, and now I feel comfortable with it. But I wanted to go through some dry runs first. So we had 100, 200 people on each session. But it was just Century 21.
Yeah, this guy spends $6 million just to try to win the Kentucky Derby race or whatever. He loves his horses, and he's got like complete free time, and he used to be a broker, and he does this, and so he's still in it.
That's you gotta connect with that guy, Kyle, for sure.
Yeah, I love to gamble too, so
there you go.
Awesome, great connect, Doug. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's see. Mr. Van
Chris,
Hook. Oh, go ahead.
Brian, Chris wanted to add.
Oh, Chris.
I just had a quick one, Kyle. Have you ever traded up a car?
Have I what?
Traded in a car for a better one?
Yeah, of course.
So you can't drive 2 cars at once. I'm just saying, like, when you get a new car, sometimes even though it's a new dream, it's a pain in the ass. You don't know where the buttons are. You don't know how things work. It takes a week to get the seat right. It's kind of annoying. But then within like 2 or 3 weeks, it's like, how, you know what I mean? Like, how did I even live like that before? I've got this new amazing thing. Like, all change is uncomfortable, and that discomfort is like fantastic. It means you're on the right thing. So I just encourage you to like simplify this as moving up to a car, and you won't even be nostalgic about it. Probably 5 years once you've moved on. I mean, eventually there will be nostalgia, but you're just trading in a new vehicle to get you where you want to go in a different way. And if you can kind of just look at that as an example, an oversimplification, I think that might help you wrap your head around doing this transfer.
Well, think about that one,
Nice.
right? 30 million a year coaching, and the guy just does what he wants, no transaction. Like, how does that sound?
Sounds phenomenal.
The only difference between you and him is he made a decision at one point to
Make that plunge.
That's
Right.
it. You have all the resources here. It sounds like with them, with me, like we have everything we need to do it. The only thing is just the decision. So, and again, you and I are working on this every other week anyway, so it's happening. But you can't do this stuff enough, you know.
How many deals a month or a year are you normally doing?
Last year I did 575. Yeah.
It's crazy. Crazy.
As a single agent, by the way, like it's not
That's
a team,
correct.
it's just Kyle. Like I
Just
just got to
me.
preface that, yes, which is exactly why you're perfectly where you are, exactly where you're supposed to be in this moment in time, Kyle. Let's write a new story.
Let's go.
Love it. Love it.
I would like to share something with you, Kyle. It's kind of like this. My first career in sports medicine, I treated patients, and I did that for about 8 years, treating patients. And then I got out of it. And it's like, as soon as you get out of treating patients, I can't go back. I also was a realtor, and I felt like I was a glorified chauffeur. And then I started investing in real estate. And then I took the plunge and started foreclosuresdaily.com, where I became the real estate coach. And from there, I look back, I couldn't ever go back to doing deals because it's very similar to that situation. So real quick, I have one quick question for you, and maybe for all of us to consider is, what is your hourly rate? So right now, obviously, we're all making money. We should probably take a look at how much money did we make last year, how many hours do we work, and what's our hourly rate? That way, we at least, if we're going to do something different, our pay scale could go up. Also, our fun level goes up, right? Making sure that both of those are in line in that. And one of the things that you could consider is you don't have to be the speaker. In the seminar education business, there's two types of speakers. We've got the front end speaker, which is typically the guy that runs around. Like Tony Robbins probably got 10 of them. I know probably half of them and train half of them. They go around and sell Tony Robbins tickets. That's how he gets 10,000 people to his seminar. So Tony isn't showing up at the preview events. He has another speaker. So with your brand and who you are, you could have one or two Kyle speakers go out to all the real estate or to all the realtor offices and do a presentation. And then for $2,000, they can buy your course that you already have, and it comes with 2 tickets to your boot camp. So that way, for your time, you only need to show up for the 3-day boot camp. And trust me, you don't have to be there for the whole 3 days. You just need to be for a couple hours. So that way you're there. And then that way you can really get that leverage. And then obviously at that boot camp, you obviously sell a real estate mastermind, or you can even offer up the Elite 100. So it doesn't have to be your mastermind. You could have Brian come to your event, speak, and then obviously he can offer up, if it's appropriate, his things, and then he can actually do some kind of rev share split for you as a possibility. So just giving you some suggestions. If you reach out to me, I'll give you my number. You can call me. We can spend some more time and learn a little bit more about what you're up to, and maybe I'll give you some suggestions.
I love it.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Dave's dropping bombs here, man. That's great advice. But for a lot of us, right? This is not just Kyle advice. That probably applies to a lot of you guys. So, Heaven, you have something?
Yeah, I just wanted to, hi everyone. I just wanted to say real quick, like, I'm so sorry I wasn't there for like the whole week. I got sick, so that was a bust, and I was so excited to see everybody Saturday, but sadly that happened. But I just wanted to add real quick, being with everyone on Friday, even for that one day, was magical in my opinion. It's so magical, like all of the humans and the connecting and the team just being there, everyone being in one area, and the love, and it was just amazing experience for me to have, and it being my first mastermind with all of you also, even though I wasn't there for the whole thing. It was amazing, and I can't stress it enough, and I can't wait to be at the next one and connect more with all of you. I know some of you were asking for me Saturday, but I honestly, like, from the bottom of my heart, I thank every single one of you that connected with me on Friday, and just thank you.
Yeah, we were bummed to miss it. It was amazing. I had quite a few people say, "Oh, I was looking forward to connecting with heaven." I'm like, "Ah, son of a bitch." So yeah, we'll get you at the next one for sure. So I love it. Awesome, everybody. We're gonna the next few weeks we're gonna do accountability because it's gonna take us a minute to do this, go through. So please make sure to show up because you may have the piece of advice like Doug just gave to Kyle, like that connection, like holy shit, that's gonna be life changing. So don't not show up because in a mastermind we come to give. Don't forget that, right? Try to block it out, and then barring some act of God, try to make sure to show up every week. I shouldn't say try to, just I would show up every week because the advice that one of you may have for another one is invaluable. So I love and appreciate you all. We'll continue on accountability next week. Couple of housekeeping things again. Block out the dates for the next one. If anybody wants to get a tax advantage for next year, connect with the team there. And then if anybody wants to join some of us at Dave Steck's event, we can get you information on that too. All right, have a great week, everybody. It was a magical week last week, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.